Welcome to Real Talk Manitoba, a podcast bringing you monthly insights into all things real estate from Manitoba Realtors. Thanks so much for joining us for episode 5 of Real Talk Manitoba. I'm your host, David Von Mayenfeld, and on this special episode, we're going to hear about Realtor Week and how it is significant to the industry and beyond. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Harry Delou. Harry is a true titan of organized real estate here in Manitoba, and in Canada, he has achieved something that few realtors have, having served as president of his local, provincial, and national associations. This is a rare accomplishment and the proverbial triple crown of professionalism and dedication to organized real estate in Canada. Now, we could spend an entire episode on the impressive list of volunteer achievements Harry has made over the course of his career, but it's time to hear from the man himself. Harry, a very warm welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, David. Pleasure to be here.
Let me begin by asking you, what is Realtor Week and what is it all about?
Realtor Week recognizes that realtors not only help Manitobans navigate the largest transactions of their life, but we are also well known for making a positive impact on our communities. Realtor Week highlights the many initiatives that realtors participate in for the benefit of all Manitobans.
Could you give me a couple examples of what we like to focus on in Realtor Week?
From an advocacy perspective, realtors are strong advocates for legislative and regulatory environments that benefit homeowners and the communities that we serve. In Manitoba, we have advocated for education reforms, land transfer tax reductions, curtailment of grow-ups, just to name a few. And we are in constant touch with all parties in government, sharing our views on how to grow and improve our province.
Harry, can you share with us some memories of past Realtor Week celebrations that were especially significant to you and for the profession?
I'd be happy to, David. Giving back is a common thread throughout the realtor community in both Manitoba and across the country. I would encourage everyone to check out realtorscare.ca. You'll find many inspiring stories of the great work being done by realtors in their communities. For example, Jeff and Regan Archambault of Manitoba were recognized in 2019 by our national association for their tremendous charitable contributions to our province. You'll also find stories of the many fantastic charitable activities in support of housing and shelter-related charities.
Could you build on that a little bit and talk a little bit about the social responsibility efforts of realtors in our communities?
Many of us are also committed volunteers and fundraisers for the charities and causes close to our hearts. The MREA, through the Shelter Foundation, contributes to many of Manitoba's wonderful charities that support our underprivileged citizens. Our Manitoba Tipi Mitawa program breaks the cycle of poverty through its Indigenous homeownership program initiative, and that program has gained national attention.
That's excellent, Harry, and I know you've played a key role in the Tipi Mitawa program since its inception here in Manitoba. Is this correct?
That's correct. I mean, it's such a great program, and it's helped so many families in our Indigenous communities, and the Manitoba Realtors are very proud of that program.
Now, I understand the program has been incredibly successful in helping numerous families own their first home, and often the first person in their family to have the opportunity to do so.
Breaking the cycle of poverty is one of the goals of the program, but also the stability that our program provides for our Indigenous families is something to behold. We just have to talk with our families to find out just how it's changed their lives for the better, and how they're very grateful to the Manitoba Association and our partners, the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs, for putting forward this program.
We have a bit of a tradition here with Real Talk Manitoba, and we'd like to ask our guests if they'd be willing to share perhaps a funny or a heartwarming story or experience from a point in their career as a realtor. Is there anything you'd care to share with us that especially stands out?
Well, as a volunteer, I think one of the proudest moments that I've ever had was with Manitoba Tipi Mitawa program. Lauren Weiss and I delivered Christmas trees to the 6 original families that were part of Manitoba Tipi Mitawa. To see the smiles on the faces of the families that we visited with the Christmas tree was just beyond. You know, it brings tears to your eyes just to see the effect this program has had on families.
That's wonderful, Harry. And Harry, while I have you on the program here, would you share with us some thoughts about the origins of the program and what was your inspiration behind Tipi Mitawa and helping to get that program?
Well, after I was done as president of the Canadian Association, Brian Cawley asked me to be a part of the Aboriginal homeownership program. Between Brian and I, we came up with an idea that we would convert rental subsidies into mortgage subsidies and focus on the Indigenous community. We've just had tremendous support from the Manitoba Real Estate Association staff and the CEO, and our partnerships with the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs and the province of Manitoba, the province of Manitoba has provided generous funding so that we could bring forward this program.
I'd like to ask you, could you share with us a little bit about the genesis of Realtor Week festivities here in Manitoba?
Realtor Week sort of started with our government relations program as part of our realtor network within Manitoba. We came up with the idea to have a symposium to deal with the current provincial issues. As part of that, we had government leaders from all different parties come and speak to our members, discuss the policies that they wanted to put forward. And as part of that, we looked at all the things that realtors do to affect the province of Manitoba in a good way, how we support the province, how we help in economic development, and how we help bring businesses to the province. So that we decided at the time that Realtor Week would be a showcase for all that realtors do throughout their year and their careers. We were fortunate enough to have the government of the day declared as Realtor Week.
Harry, over the past 2 years, our membership here at MREA is up about 300 members, which means we have a lot of new realtors here in our community. So what's your message to those who may be new to the profession on why getting involved and taking part in Realtor Week is so important?
David, I strongly recommend that new realtors get involved in Realtor Week and also other events in the realtor community. We are a group of professionals with the potential to make exciting change in our province and beyond. The more of us that are engaged and working together, the greater the impact we can have and the stronger our communities can be.
Harry, what are your hopes for the future of Realtor Week in Manitoba and its continued growth and evolution here in the province?
We're all members of our communities. We live, work, and raise our families here. So we have a vested interest in making Manitoba the best place it can be. Through our work as realtors, we have such a unique understanding of our communities. It is only natural then that we feel a responsibility to make these communities even stronger, however we can. And Realtor Week is a showcase for how we do that.
Harry, if I can ask you a final question here, is there anything you wish we did differently or we would do differently for Realtor Week in Manitoba in the years ahead?
What I really wish for is that more of our members get involved with all the programs that the Manitoba Real Estate Association puts forward. These programs affect the lives of so many Manitobans. The involvement is such an important part of our membership within the community.
Harry, thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast and for all of the insight you shared with us. To our listeners, thank you for joining us for this special episode of Real Talk Manitoba. My name is David von Manfeld, and please stay tuned for the next episode and even more great discussion on real estate in Manitoba.